can be, but we'll try as much as possible not to keep you guys here beyond the time allotted for the event. So I want to welcome you to, on behalf of Finessa, to SYNERGYCON 1.0. So SYNERGYCON 1.0 is a sophisticated high-level cocktail event curated by Finessa. So the solutions company Finessa Limited, we are the brightest minds from creative technology, legal, and finance converge to actually explore and shape the future rather, of these interconnected sectors to impact people, businesses, government institutions, and policymakers, and also the larger economy. So this year, under the theme, Your IP, Your Future, collaboration for economic growth, we gather players across various industries to explore how creative and digital economies collaborate with diverse industries and sectors to drive innovation and social change, and ultimately economic growth as well. So the conference will also feature dynamic speakers, panel discussions, and product demonstration as well of the Finessa framework, offering a glimpse into the future of creativity and technology in Nigeria. So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Finessa, I want to welcome you all to SYNERGYCON 1.0. Like I said before, we really want to apologize for starting way behind schedule. So we're just about to kickstart, the entire event right now. So I would like to call on the host for the event, that's Alex, to give his opening remarks.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for gracing this magnificent event. My name is Oluwafemi Akinbote. I'm co-founder of Finessa Limited, and we're happy to have you here. Today, we're showcasing what happens in the creative world and expressing to you all that it's beyond just music, art, fashion, but we are connected to all the cross-sectoral industries. We are connected to beverage and food, hospitality and tourism, finance and law. So we are trying to let everybody understand that this ecosystem has a lot of potential in it. And if we all collaborate together to bake more pie, then we can all benefit and increase the GDP of our country, Nigeria. Thank you all, and have a wonderful evening.
Cool. Okay, let's put our hands together. Like I said, I want to just kickstart, the event so we don't keep, anyone here longer than normal. So I'd like to call on the representative of the Governor of Lagos State, His Excellency Babajide Sanwo-Olu. That's the Commissioner for Science and Technology, Mr. Alake. So, ladies and gentlemen, can we please put our hands together for the Commissioner for Science and Technology. Yes.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I would think I would be used to stages by now, but I still get very, I get tongue twisted whenever I'm to speak to a very fine set of people like yourselves. But I have no choice because I'm passionate about technology. And wherever there is technology happening, wherever technology is growing, you would find me there. So it's great to be here. Good evening to everybody. As the speaker mentioned, I'm the Honorable Commissioner for Innovation, Science and Technology in Lagos. And my portfolio is to drive the proliferation and growth of technology in Lagos State. From dealing with large-scale enterprise technology systems that run government offices to also large-scale infrastructure deployments, from fiber optic infrastructure to intelligent transport systems and intelligent video surveillance systems. In fact, today, we just launched the first intelligent transport system for Lagos. So that means in some areas, if you do above 80 or 100 kilometers per hour, you will get fined. And it's objective now. So the last mile officer in that area, you probably would not see him anymore because there are ITS HoloLens cameras there now that can recognize your plate number even from about 500 meters and also your face. So when you do go to renew, or you probably get an SMS, you can also contest it if you think the technology is lying. But I think 9 times out of 10, you yourself, you will know that you violated the speed limit. But this is just an example of some of the things we do in the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology. We are the backbone of some of the technology work that is going on. Apart from that, we have a very strong focus on startups in Lagos State. Lagos State is the largest financier or government financier of startups in the Federation. And so to date, we've been funding startups directly since 2019 and indirectly since 2016. And today we also have the first structured R&D funding program in the Federation as well. So we fund research and development projects in universities, and we have verifiable work and patent applications to also prove that. So yes, indeed, there is quite a lot of work in science and technology going on in Lagos State. And of course, I could go on. We also deploy fiber optic infrastructure, about 2,000 kilometers over the past 36 months, and on like that. So, like I said, wherever there is technology happening, wherever there is the evangelism of technology, we are there to support the ecosystem, most especially of young people, driving technology solutions, solving problems, and growing our economy. Today, we are actually a venture investor as well. Lagos State is the first public sector venture investor in startups as well. We invest for startups that actually pass our grant process, and we see that their solutions can scale, can solve problems at scale. We actually fund them. And really, it's not to compete with other VC firms, it's to actually de-risk funding at the very pre-seed stage. For my fellow VC investors in the room, probably those funding seed stage, pre-seed stage, there are some companies that VCs would not look at because they are too low on the totem pole. So that is where government steps in. We give some of these startups their first initial runway so that when they have the prototypes, they are working, they are making revenue, larger VCs can then come on board and take those projects or companies to larger funding rounds, thereby solve more problems for more people and things like that. So I bring everybody the greetings of the governor. This is just a snippet of what we are doing in the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology. Hopefully you will hear more. And in essence, it is to grow the economy of Lagos, to improve the quality of life of citizens. And I'm proud to say we do that through the application of different types of technology. We cannot do it alone. We need partnerships as well. And that is why platforms like this are always, we are very excited to always participate and partner with organizations and platforms like this to evangelize and to also help the young people in our ecosystem to drive more positive outcomes. So thank you and good evening.
Let's put our hands together again for the commissioner. I think everything he said, I resonated with that, except the fact that there are now speed cameras in Lagos. And I've gotten a couple of those tickets a couple of times for here. It's what it is. So I would want to welcome each and everyone to SYNERGYCON 1.0. So like I said, we have no need to keep you here longer than normal. I see a lot of people who are going to be on the different panels are coming in. So ladies and gentlemen, just to keep things moving right now, please let's put our hands together for Honorable Justice Helen Moronkeji Ogunmiju, Justice of the Supreme Court, OFR, as she comes on stage to give a keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for the Honorable Justice.
Take this. I'm going to make a lot of fun about those of us born before 1980. All protocols observed. I'm so very proud and happy to be here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, to share this triumphant and momentous evening with my children, Femi Akimbote and Alex Okusonya. I love being here, surrounded by family, friends, young men and women who are full of energy and who are ready for a great and career-fulfilling future. I didn't know I would have to talk. I've just been told a couple of days ago. I thought I would come here as a mother. But since I've been sent on this errand by my children, young men and women all over Nigeria who think outside the box, who are engaged in all manner of startup businesses and entrepreneurship endeavors bent on making their mark to the end of making the whole Nigeria, and by extension, this our world, a more joyous, vibrant place to live. I have seen the struggle of these two young men. This personify for me at close range, since they have actually lived with me at one time or the other, the struggles, the confusion, the spirituality, the triumphs of most of their generation in Nigeria. They have created FINESA, and it is tagged the framework for Brainwork. Iṣẹ́ ọpọlọ in Yoruba. Hausa people will say, Aike kwakwawa. Tea people will say, Tomu. The Igbos will say, Oruishi. The Efik young man like Nathaniel Bassi will say, my onion utome. At international conferences, when I hear music by my Nigerian children, all artists are my children, by the way, and I always boast to those nearby, particularly if they are not of the Negroid race, and say, black people, particularly Nigerians, give soul and rhythm to the world. I don't even want to talk about the beautiful sometimes spectacular, poignant paintings and sculptures. I'm always astonished at the depth of the content creators, our comedians, our actors and actresses, etc. The resilience of the Nigerian, especially the youths, is exceptional. God has really blessed Nigerians. Whatever it is God failed to put in abundance in those of us born prior to 1980, he managed to put in abundance in those born after 1980. It depends on whether you use it for good or bad. Nigeria's evolution from an exporter of agricultural commodities like cocoa, granules, to crude oil, and now entertainment, music, films, and digital content marks a new era of global cultural influence. Just as Bonny Light crude was prized for its high-value distillates and refinery-friendly properties, Nigerian music and artistry is now in high demand worldwide. Our music has found a home in the Americas and Europe, while our films, rooted in tradition and culture, resonate deeply in most of Africa, South America, and the West Indies. Nigeria's creative output has firmly secured its place in the global pop culture. I remember I was on a trip, and I was on a long queue, and there was one tall man with, in traditional robes, probably a Nigerian, and I was at the end of the queue. And I was, well, how am I going to make it? And they asked the man, is that your Lolo? You know the Igbo films. Is that your Lolo? Oh, he said, he looked back, saw me, saw that it was, he said, yes, yes, that's my Lolo. So they gave me a pass to pass. That's somewhere in East Africa. So the Finessa initiative, as I'm made to understand, I'm not into tech, I told you. Those of us born prior to 1980 is a very long struggle. The initiative seeks to revolutionize resource management in the entertainment industry. But I'm explaining to you my understanding of what they explained to me. You know, I'm a lawyer. I have to be careful. So I'm explaining to you my understanding of what they explained to me. So what I got from it is that it's an initiative seeking to revolutionize resource management in the entertainment industry by building an Uber-like economic ecosystem. You all know the marketing concept of Uber and like products, right? I mean, I assume. You get all the services of a car owner for a minimum fee without actually owning a car. So, every element needed to produce a music, album, film, or concert, studio time, production, marketing, distribution can be quantified, valued, and seamlessly coordinated through an automated system. I am hoping I am right. Okay. So, this ensures that contributors are compensated fairly without requiring upfront capital from the artist. Aspiring Nigerian creatives cannot access the resources they need on demand, transforming raw inspiration into polished, market-ready content without financial barriers. That's, to my simple mind, a very simply brilliant idea. As I've been reiterating, I belong to the pre-1980 model of Nigerians. I have been asked to speak about the jurisprudence of intellectual property. I am determined not to bore you all with legalese. So, I'll run through it very quickly. The Finessa model has decided to use the phrase intellectual property, which is a more modern and broader term that means protection of creative works. while copyright is a specific type of IP that protects original works of authorship. Copyright is the exclusive right to do or to control or authorize the doing of certain acts in relation to the work in which the right subsists. There is no doubt that the increased rate of employment in Nigeria in the last few decades has been a great blessing in disguise. This is so because it has seriously boosted intellectual property, as many Nigerians have discovered their hidden creative talents and are earning a living by creating artistic and intellectual works. Following the creation of these works, reports has been made that these works are being reproduced illegally, which calls naturally for the intervention of the law. Nigeria is a state party to several international conventions, and some of the international laws